Okay guys, I kind of forgot to show you how to draw the pocket on the pattern, and I finally got my voice back. So anyway, I'm going to show you real quick. You have to remember, on this waistband we're going to turn it down 1 inch. So on the top here, what you want to do is trace it, the top of this waistband right here, and then down here. That way it fits perfectly when you get it on there. So we want to go down just a little bit less than 1 inch so it catches when we sew the waistband on. So I'm going to put my 1 inch line just a little bit above that line right there. Make sure it's a little bit above it all the way across. It's kind of sloping up, so I'm putting it at an angle. You got to make sure it comes all the way to the front here. Alright, that looks about right if my ruler will quit moving around. Okay, there's that piece. Draw it over here a little bit further. Yeah, you can see it was sloping uphill, so have that come down and meet. Okay, there's the top. Now we're going to trace down the side seam here. And I take it down to the hip line basically. So now for this side, we're going to take our ruler, draw on a nice curved shape. Trying to make it big enough for if she wants to put her cell phone in it. Yeah, I moved it. Just a minute, let me get it back on. There we go. Alright, now I just need to come around to this side over here with my curve. Well, it would help if it draw. Get my good natural curve in here. There we go. Alright, now we need to draw the opening for the hand. She's going to have a smaller hand than I have, so we'll go from about right here to about right here. That'll be the opening to go down in. Alright, so that's a simple way to draw a pocket. You can draw them deeper if you want to. Matter of fact, based on the opening there, let me come down a little bit further. Just a little bit further. Yeah, about right there. So kind of in that shape right there. So I'll come around, I'll cut it a little bit more smoother. But anyway, the front's so short here, it's hard to get a deeper pocket. The good thing about doing it this way, it's perfectly shaped to the waistband, so it will lay right down on there and you can sew it together. And there we go. That's the seam side. And we're going to cut 4 of these. Cut 2 face together. Right sides. Okay, got that. Now let's cut the pattern out. Alright, put a few weights on here to hold it down. Keep it from moving. I'm going to correct something right here. I didn't quite leave enough room on this side. I want it a little bit deeper right there. Okay. Need to come out here a little bit straighter. My draft. I also added 1 inch to the bottom of this to make the roll-up hem give just a little bit more room from the crotch on here after the measurements and discussing it with her, and she was fine with that. So they're going to be an inch longer than what I originally drafted from that right there. Alright, now I need to go up the middle here. Go ahead and get a guide since we're doing a straight line. So I just go ahead and cut it in two. And just turn these around and cut the little curve. Make sure these match up perfectly. This is a straight line, so they should curve up identical. So you can do that when you cut the pattern out. And if there's any little variance, and I see one down there, that line wasn't straight. I have a very slight variance here, so I'm going to go ahead and trim just a teeny bit off. Get this lined up perfectly. There we go, that lines it up perfectly. And then when we come down here, get on a straight line here and figure out what's going on with that little jug coming out right there from when I cut it. Alright, there we go. Scoot this over just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to come all the way from the top, see if there's any little variance here. And there was just a little tiny bit. Alright, we have what we need now. For the elastic and the waistband, I'm using a knit elastic. It's more comfortable and it recovers better than the non-roll and all that. And we will anchor it down on the side seams. Anytime you're sewing elastic, use a stretch needle, and that will allow you to sew it if you're wanting to do seams around it, like a couple of them. That'll keep it from actually cutting the elastic. And the needle in the eye is bigger, so it keeps them from skipping stitches. Alright, let me get this lined up again. I'm going to check the bottom here, make sure everything's lined up on this side. See a tiny little jug right there. Lick it off. And then down here we have a, I might it'd help if I could keep it lined up. Alright, that's perfectly lined up there, and I still have a little spot right here. It's not lined up. Alright, there we go. That should be perfect now. So we have our pocket and our fabric, and I'll cut out the fabric and then we will do the sew along. So I'm not going to bore you with me cutting the fabric out, so I'll do that off camera, and then I'll show you when we start sewing it up.